So you might be in a situation where you're wanting to go ahead and see how the Google Pixel 8 is going to hold up against the Samsung Galaxy S23. So let's go and take a look. Both these phones are great, and I think they're going to hold up very, very well for a long, long period of time. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these phones, the Samsung Galaxy S23, which came out earlier this year on the front, has a 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display. And it's a very good looking panel. This is probably one of the better panels this year. It's not perfect, but it is a very solid, display. It's a hole punch display, so you're getting the hole punch at the very top. It's a 120 hertz display as well. And I definitely do think when it comes down to this particular panel, it holds up and looks very, very well. There's not a lot to hate on here. I think it's a very good looking display nonetheless. And fingerprint sensitive display, everything like that. It's a very, very good looking phone for sure. On the Google Pixel 8, this is a very good panel as well. It's probably just as good of a panel as the Galaxy S23 if I'm being honest. So a few things, like it looks almost identically like that phone. You probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You're getting a 6.2-inch AMOLED display on this particular phone. It looks great. Like I said before, I think it looks amazing, and that's something that I love seeing on these types of devices. Now it's also 120 hertz as well, which is also super cool. Once again, having 120 hertz is very, very nice, and you are getting that type of capability on this type of phone, which is so cool. Now you're getting the hole punch display as well, and the 120 hertz on both, it makes this a little bit of a tougher competition. Like, which one do you want to buy? In terms of the rest of the bodies, they both kind of also have like the same type of layout to them. So you can see they're both kind of like flat. The Galaxy S23 has this reflective side to it though. The Pixel 8 has this standard like side to it. It's a little bit like more like aluminum or whatever it is. You're getting SIM card trace on both these phones in different locations. On the bottom though, you are getting USB-C, which is very nice. Having USB-C is a very nice touch, and I definitely do like having that type of capability on both these phones, which is a super, super cool thing. Now, on the back side, a little bit of a different story here as well. So on the Pixel 8, you're getting the standard glass back with a dual camera setup at the very top. The Galaxy S23, you're getting this frosted glass back. So that is a slight difference there too. You are overall getting the better feeling phone, a more premium phone, I would say, on the Galaxy S23. But I would still say the Pixel 8 holds up very, very well for it being kind of what it is. It's like the cheaper phone kind of the two, but the S23 is cheaper in the used market. You're getting a triple camera setup here, dual camera setup here. You're getting wireless charging, reverse wireless charging on both. You're getting IP certification on both phones as well. So there is still a lot of overlap here. The Galaxy S23 I think is like a little bit more of an expensive phone in the brand new market. But now that this phone has been out for a little bit of time, the S23 might be a little bit of a better option for some people from that perspective. So from that, I think that kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of the software and longevity, this is going to be the biggest advantage for the Pixel 8. The Galaxy S23, currently is rocking One UI. It's a great version of software. Again, there's not really a lot to complain about. It's gotten better and better throughout time. Probably more features within One UI than with the Pixel 8 or with stock Android. So keep that in mind. But as of this point, with something like the Google Pixel 8, this phone, Google said it's going to be giving you 7 years of software. So it's going to be like 5 or 6 years of full OS updates, and then maybe like 2 years of security updates, something like that. That is a crazy thing. I think that is amazing, and I cannot wait until Google starts giving us, tons of phones with those types of updates. So between these, the Pixel 8 is probably going to be the one that's going to last longer, and it's going to be giving you a better experience from that specific situation than something like the Galaxy S23. So that kind of covers it up there as well. Now let's go into a speed comparison between both these phones. The Google Pixel 8 has that Google Tensor G3 chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM, but the Galaxy S23 has that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset inside with 8 gigs of RAM as well. So let's go and see which one's a faster phone between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background, so let's get into it. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. Okay, the Pixel 8 is here, the Galaxy S23 is here. Now these two, let's get in their cameras, 3, 2, 1. Okay, they both kind of have their camera UIs pulled up. Play Store 3, 2, 1. Okay, so both don't have Wi-Fi here, which is very interesting. Let's go and get into some of these games. Now I do have to load up the game launcher here, which is very annoying. So Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Now Temple Run 2, like I mentioned before, is not that big of a game, but it is an interesting one because it loads very differently on all devices. And you can see right here the Galaxy S23 was able to load into this particular game a little bit faster than something like the Pixel 8. So kind of keep that in mind. Again, not like the biggest deal in the world, but that was a small, slight thing that we kind of noticed there. Hopping out of these two. Let's get into another game. Let's go and try something like Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. Now, once again, not the biggest game of all time, but you can kind of load into it. You can see the Galaxy S23, again, is the faster one. And I definitely do think, in a way, the Galaxy S23 is probably going to be the consistently faster one each time. I think the tensor chipsets have improved a lot, but I still think there's quite a bit of a ways to go on both. Let's get into another game. Let's go and get into the original Temple Run, 3, 2, 1. Now, this game, I don't think I've loaded it up on either one of these phones, so I guess we'll see. And I guess we did on this one, so we'll just kind of load out of this one. They kind of loaded into the exact same time. Getting into Game Launcher once again. Let's go and try something like Genshin Impact. I think that might be one we should try. It looks like this phone doesn't have it. We might have Roblox, 3, 2, 1. Okay, connection error on both, but the connection error became faster on the Pixel 8, which is kind of funny. Let's see what other games we have. Subway Surfers, maybe we could try that one. 3, 2, 1. And looks like we have this pop-up here. Two different pop-ups. I'm not really too sure which one was a significantly faster one here. Getting into the game though, see if there's a big difference, which I don't really think there's going to be. And you can see right here, pretty much the same thing for the most part. Hopping out of here, let's go and try a different one. Let's go and try, I think Thank You is like the last one we have, 3, 2, 1. But what I will tell you is, from all the games that I've tested between both, the Galaxy S23 probably would be the overall faster one. There are times where, as you can see, like the Pixel 8 may be faster in some cases, but I do think if I were to use one on an everyday basis based on the performance, the Pixel 8 might be a smoother phone, but the Galaxy S23 will probably give me better performance in those applications. So that kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of the overall camera capability, this is honestly an interesting thing, because I will tell you, although the Pixel 8's camera is good, the Galaxy's cameras are just amazing. They're very, very good. And the Galaxy S23's camera is definitely probably better than the Pixel 8's for sure. You're getting dual camera setups on the Pixel 8. The Galaxy S23 has a triple camera setup, 4K 60 on the front and the back of both of them. The Galaxy S23 can do 8K videos though, which is pretty crazy. Now with the Pixel 8's camera that just came out, it's a good sensor. You know, I think it's great. I think it gets the job done, and there's not a lot to complain about here. You're getting on the outside 0.5x zoom. On the inside, you're getting 8x zoom, which is still good. Not quite as much as the Galaxy S23s, which you'll see in a second. But you're getting portrait mode, long exposure, action pan. You're getting, night sight. You're getting panorama mode. There's a lot of good stuff here that I actually do like. So I think this kind of stuff is super important. And I do think from that perspective alone, it definitely gets a thumbs up for me. It's a good camera. It has a lot of capability. But with the Galaxy S23, this is by far the better sensor here. This is just the sensor that I look at as it being the more premium, supreme one in every single way. You're getting 0.5x or 0.6x zoom, but zooming in, you're getting 30x zoom. Now, that is a massive difference. That is a big, big difference here. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be using it all the time, but it's really nice to have that type of capability. You can portrait mode, you're getting video mode, portrait video, and under more, you're getting a lot more options here too. So the Galaxy S23, I would say, is probably the camera that has a lot more capability, and it's going to be giving you a better experience overall as well. So to kind of sum it up, what I'll tell you is, you may think that the Galaxy S23 would be the one I'd recommend, at least for me to buy. I like the Galaxy S23 a lot. I think it's a great phone, but I do think, for me personally, the Pixel 8 is probably the one I would recommend buying, for at least for me personally, and probably for a vast majority of people. The S23 is more of a flagship though. You're getting the better cameras, better performance, maybe a little bit of a better display. I'm still kind of torn on the display thing. With the Pixel 8 though, this phone, I like it a lot, and I think it's a really good phone to buy. I love the software. I love the software improvements Google has been doing. I think the build quality is good enough. I think the display is very good, and I do think it's a very good phone nonetheless. The camera is just not as good as the S23's, but other than that, I think this is a pretty good phone, and you can't really go wrong with buying either one of these phones if I'm being completely honest. So that kind of covers up this specific comparison. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, till then.